this is a very technical business. It is very hard for the average person to understand what it is we do and how our equipment works.
We have story elements of this film in many different levels. Some of it's historical, some of it's practical, some of it is technical. And so when it comes to things like the big reveal of the network, the Hero MRA Mobile Relay Network in Southern California, near the end of the film, there has to be perfection.
We're looking at what it would look like if we did low-cost animation versus doing high-resolution 3D animation. And the more we worked on it, the more we realized that we really had to do a top-notch, high-quality production.
So I called a longtime associate, Jerry Spivak, a renowned visual effects artist, and he agrees to help us out.
So when Keith calls me up, I'm always in. So he called me up to help him figure out how we're going to accomplish this next task. This is technology that you really don't get to see. So to really understand how it works, we need to visually depict it in some way graphically.
What we're selling here is the concept, not so much the inner workings of the electronics, but we're selling the concept of how does a voice go from point A to point B by just talking into the radio.
So we try to keep it very simple with our towers and our beams that go from a certain place to a certain place and represent that in a way where once you look at it, you're like, ah, I get it. So MRA worked with us very closely.
There's lots of discussion back and forth. Then once we made a decision, then it went back to our producer, director, Keith, and he would get with the animation studios and they would have to make the changes, and he would have to be able to explain to them over the phone what kind of changes we were looking for, so that it is clear and it is concise.
We have to make sure that the towers that we represent are accurate, because these are actual real places that Mobile Relay has towers. So we're showing them, of course, they're exaggerated, they're tall.
An oversized graphic description of how this technology works.
You're seeing the span of the network. We have a little bit of exaggeration with the towers, but the connections that you see between the different sites are representative of how the system actually operates.
It's all built in 3D, so we can have dimension and move the camera around it. It just makes more visually appealing images to look at.
Top-notch illustration that we could possibly come up with to depict what was happening in the network and put it in terms that people can easily understand.